Welcome back to another one of my videos. This time I'm going to be taking a look at Flatzoids Perspective. Now, I don't normally go to Flatzoids' YouTube channel because he does a lot of live streaming, and most of his videos are an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours long. I don't want to sit and watch all those. But sometimes you look at one and you just got to say, I need to respond to this one. Well, there is one I need to respond to, and it talks about flying over the curve and how ridiculous it is, and it even shows a clip in there about some douchebag talking to the pilot. Right after the pilot flew him home, he decides to go up and start asking the pilot some stupid questions. So I'm going to respond to this one, and I think I'm going to have some good fun with this. But let's go check out Flatzoids Perspective. I'm Jonni Glitch, and I'm on a quest for conspiracy nonsense. Okay, just reading through some of the comments here before I get started. Here's the video I'm going to be looking at. We fly with no curve. We can't fly over a curve. Flatzoids Perspective. Now this gets a little ridiculous, and it kind of upset me. Well, it didn't upset me. It concerns me a lot that some guy flies on an airplane. The pilot flies he and his daughter home, and then he decides to ask the pilot a bunch of stupid questions. It's ridiculous. So that's why I want to check this out. All right, let me see. Let's bring it up full speed here.
They will not be getting.
Got me down in the corner. I want to be talking about
not
it.
Getting anywhere.
They've already started. Let's listen in.
If it were rotating Earth, life wouldn't exist. I don't think.
Yeah, I also actually think there'd be a lot more wrong. Okay. Kevin Bobbitt, credits to him. Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, right here. It's ridiculous. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
Compensate for curvature whenever we landed just now?
I mean, it's pretty short runway, so I don't really think we have to.
Did you have to compensate for curvature?
You see, the pilot's not laughing because, oh, there's no curvature. He's laughing because he's thinking, what a stupid question, you idiot. Get out of my cockpit.
So no compensation for curvature whenever we're flying now?
I mean, with the short routes we do, no.
Do you have to compensate for curvature?
No.
You don't?
You just stop it.
Okay.
Yep, the poor pilot.
So we don't compensate for...
What would you class as a short route, like?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, but the problem is, even on your globe, even if you move a centimeter, there's supposed to be curvature. So...
Wait, did you hear that ridiculous statement? Even if we move a centimeter, they have to adjust for curvature. Okay, why? Explain to me why you have to adjust for curvature. Try to explain that, Flatzoid. I would love to reply to that.
Even if you have a short route, let's say an hour's flight, which is typically, what, about 2,000 kilometers? There's going to be a lot of curvature there. So what do you have to say about pilots saying they don't account for curvature or Earth's rotation?
Oh, this ought to be good.
Well, I already know that they don't, but they keep saying that.
That's a tough.
You know, the funny thing is, no, they don't. And it's not a secret. Pilots do not account for curvature because of one reason. They don't have to. Nobody needs to. They're not flying fast enough to account for curvature. They don't have to worry about it.
Tough answer.
You see, now that's the answer I was expecting. Because when you ask a globetrot this, they're like, making excuses. Instead of just saying, yeah, we don't fly over a curved.
We do fly over a curve. We just don't have to account for one.
Moving Earth, they say, no, but you see, you don't understand, and blah, blah, blah.
No, but I do understand.
Do you?
It's quite...
Tell me how you understand.
But I love the questions this guy asked them and the way he asked them. He gets to the point.
By the way, you notice I'm responding to these guys as they talk. I'm not involved in their conversation. I'm not on the stream at all. I wish I had seen it. I would have tried to call in.
Where he talks to one pilot, and he asks him a whole bunch of questions. And yeah, the guy really gets into it. No, there's a lot.
You're alive.
Just play the
And
video,
then tie
Flatzoid.
this into pitch data and all that business. They ain't got a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
The curvature whenever we're landing.
We don't do anything
and
with
then we
curvature.
don't do anything when it comes to the motion of Earth.
Curvature is
Too far away.
Out the window.
So Earth has to be a level
Look at that
stationary
cherry
plane,
picking.
right?
fairly
So you fly your plane like the Earth is level and stationary, then, correct?
essentially, yeah.
Basically,
Once you
yeah.
fly Earth like it's level and stationary,
Sure.
you fly over it like you are, like it is.
Yeah. And you don't calculate the curve.
Now you notice what Flatzoid and his buddies are getting off on is the guy is saying you're flying the airplane like it's flat and level. This guy in the red shirt did not ask the pilot, is the Earth flat and level? He keeps saying, do you fly over it like it's flat and level? The plane flies over the Earth like it's flat and level, right? He keeps begging the question. He keeps begging the answer until he gets what he wants, and then he's all smirky and thinks he's won a freaking contest.
Whoa. Don't calculate the curvature. What did Wolfie say?
He probably said that you have to calculate it. What a moron.
We'll
Yeah.
got Coriolis as well.
Yeah. He says
You know
have
what?
to calculate
Coriolis has
too,
nothing to do with it.
I bet you anything, like, you know, all like some of the, like that one, remember that plane crash that happened where that guy was trying to prove that the Earth was curved or whatever, and he crashed his plane because he was trying to
Oh, Bob, you mean?
Account
Huh?
for the
Now, I don't know what airplane crash they're referring to, but I'm not even worried about it.
curvature of Earth.
Bob,
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, wasn't it Bob? Wasn't he the
Okay, I'm going to skip forward just a little bit here as I want to keep the video a little bit short. And I know this clown is asking, let's see if I can get to the end of it. Disclaimer. Oh, check this out. Flatzoid is doing something. Let's listen to what he says.
There we go.
I mean, there's certainly some pilots that have since the
Yeah, Flatzoid brings up a sectional aeronautical chart from the FAA website. This ought to be good.
flat Earth.
All right, let me get myself in here. Try that. There we are. There we are. Let's start this thing. All right, Flatzoid, whatever you're talking about, spew it out.
done
But I mean, let's look what it says here about a sectional alternate aeronautical chart. Okay, are primary navigational reference mediums used by the VFR pilot community. The scale sectional aeronautical chart series is designed for visual navigation of slow to medium speed aircraft. The topographic information feature consists of the relief and a judicious selection of visual checkpoints used for flight under visual flight rules. The checkpoints include populated places, drainage patterns, roads, railroads, and other distinctive landmarks. The aeronautical information on technical charts includes visual and radio aids to navigation, airports, controlled airspace, restricted areas, obstructions, and related data. These charts are updated every 56.
All right, I didn't know he was gonna read through the entire thing, but he's got to get to a point here shortly.
days. Notice that it never talks about curve.
Oh, it never talks about the curve. it's oh, hang on a second. What is it? It's a sectional aeronautical chart. It's an aeronautical chart. It's this sectional chart. Why on earth would it say anything about the curve? Oh no.
These charts are updated every 56 days. Notice that it never talks about curve.
Nope.
No. Ooh, good boy. No.
Aeronautical
It is-
data.
This round
Okay,
table
here's
circle
everything
jerk is just
else.
agreeing with him. Nope.
Definitely
doesn't.
not
Nope.
curve.
Move on. What else has he got? Before I do my thing, I want to make sure that I see everything. Oh, here we go with this douche again. Okay, the guy in the red shirt. The pilot. This poor pilot here. I did watch this whole video. The pilot answered all of his questions, and then when the guy in the red shirt left, his daughter was with him. He showed how much of a douchebag he is right to his daughter. And he was laughing that he got the pilot to say level. Unbelievable.
36,000 feet. Do you know what
Here we
speed
go.
we were at?
You're at Mach 7.6, so that's 76% the speed of sound at that altitude.
Mach 0.76, not 7 points.
I would guess around 400 and...
This poor pilot, I feel so bad for him.
Okay.
There's at the altitude, you just fly in Mach.
Okay, cool.
See, he doesn't care about the...
Yeah, it's
He's just
open.
leading him on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Close the door. Go ahead.
I must say, I love the questions he asked this guy.
Past this. There we go.
This guy.
You know what's the answer. It's awesome.
This guy.
Yeah. So like the curvature is never calculated into like whenever you're flying though,
Like
right?
the long distance? Yeah, it's calculated. Yeah.
How would you say it's calculated?
It's not really
In
calculated.
terms of like you're flying like an arc, is that what you're asking?
Or like there's a aviation term called straight and level.
You notice he says straight and level, not flat and level.
That's just because you're staying straight and level, though, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking.
See, that pilot's like getting confused. I feel so bad for him.
He's figuring out something's going on, yeah.
What does flat call mean? Bob says.
Yeah, Bob the science guy, dude, he's in chat. So I'm going to say it again. Since, Bob, you're telling your community I'm running from you, why are you still too scared to come in, man?
He says because your flat call mutes him for the duration. I don't know what flat call is, but
Where do we mute him?
in chat when he's a knob. But I mean, he's always got the link to come in, StreamYard.
Yeah. So,
Restream. Not always got the link, but
Your rate of descent, we're at like 36,000 feet. It takes like probably, 100 miles to land, 120 miles to land?
36,000 feet. Yeah, it's probably about around 120 because the sequence is in because Dallas is just busy.
Okay, cool. Cool, so we're losing about 1,000 feet every 3 nautical miles, give or take?
Yeah, that's about a good average.
Now wait for it.
You do have
Wait
to
for it.
assume that the elevation that you started from, your rate of descent,
Elevation, which means he knows nothing about airplanes. You're not worried about elevation you're kind of starting from. You're worried about altitude, idiot.
compared to the elevation that you landed on is similar.
Look at Flatzoid down there. He's shaking his head. He's nodding his head like, yeah, I know it's... I understand. Nothing.
Are you talking about like taking off from sea level and landing at sea level?
Yeah.
You account for it, but that's not.
in other words, yeah, you're using a triangle.
how much? What?
How much is what? How much, Bob? What?
You're not asking for money, are you?
No, I don't need to contact anyone. I'm live right now. Come in. See what I'm saying? This guy's a coward.
So I'm saying
I'm not here to give tunes and cats and them any content from me, dude.
All right.
I've got my own show, thanks. You can come on right now.
Yes, but
So-
you don't really think about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So in 120 miles,
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, here it comes.
it's 9,600 feet of curvature from point A to point B. That's never calculated into a rate of descent, correct?
Wait, say that again. It's 120 miles.
See, he's baffling the pilot because the pilot never really thinks about stuff like this. He's trained to fly the airplane, follow a direct path. The rate of descent, yeah, he dials it in. All he has to do is throttle back, a little less engine power, a little less speed, and the airplane will start descending all on its own. He doesn't have to point his plane down. He can fly straight and level, and if he throttles back and slows down, the plane will slowly start going down because of one thing. Gravity. Now this guy practiced this script to ask pilots because he's tricking the pilots and frustrating the pilots into saying what he wants.
Sure. Okay. But that's never calculated into a rate of descent, correct?
You don't calculate the curvature.
There we go. You got that.
How much?
You don't calculate the curvature. Here they go. Here goes the round table.
So, yeah, Roy, thank you for $2. He says, this could be yours at Bob the Science Guy. Yeah, come, Bob. Come on. Roy has a few things to ask you.
The thing is, they never listen to the pilots who are saying opposite to the implemented perception of reality because it doesn't agree with their lies. It's very simple.
Review this.
By the way, Roy, that's your 20th super chat. Very, very appreciated, man. You rock.
And then we do land airplanes all over the Earth, right? So Earth has to be level.
To a point.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
And now I want you guys to pay attention to this part.
This is all 2016 stuff. Oh, wow. You can tell.
Your choice.
But yeah, poor guy. He really thinks he's that important that I would even give him a cent just to talk to him. I mean, I'm doing him a favor by saying he's allowed to talk here. He's actually, how can I put it, privileged to know he's not banned in my chat right now.
Did you hear or no? That was a good one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The pilot flew he and his daughter home safely, and then he's got to act like that. That's disgusting. He's a douchebag. All right, I've got an illustration here that's going to explain what I'm trying to convey here, okay? But before that, I want to go into something else. Right here, the problem with the flat Earth model is they only see things from their perspective, which is this. So from their perspective, the plane is going around, and it has to accommodate, the curve. It has to calculate for the curve. It has to constantly pitch down to go around the curve. That's from their perspective. Now, if they went to the pilot's perspective, you get this. And this is the perspective from the airplane. They are at the top there, and it looks to them like the Earth is going by them. They're not having to compensate for anything. As long as they maintain straight and level flight, they're fine. So get off of this and understand there are two perspectives. Your perspective and pilot perspective. That's why you can't understand the curve when flying. Now what you have here is an airplane that's about to come down on a rate of descent, a constant rate of descent, a steady descent. Now right now, he's flying straight and level. That's all he's got to worry about. So this is demonstrating aircraft rate of descent with relation to a curve. This is for those of you that think a curve is something to worry about when flying. You don't have to worry about the curve. As we demonstrate here, as it starts to come down, boom, gyroscopes and artificial horizons do not care about a curve. There is no need to calculate it. They only determine the attitude or the orientation of the aircraft above the ground they are directly flying over. Radar altimeters don't need to calculate altitude beyond the curve. They don't need to worry about anything beyond the curve. They work to calculate actual altitude directly over the elevation they are flying over. Barometric pressure determines altitudes above sea level. Two different things. So we come down, he's going to do his descent. Now see his descent, where you don't need any fancy triangles to go down, descend. You just decrease throttle, pitch down just a little bit, or you don't even have to pitch down. The plane will start coming down all by itself. I'm showing a pitch down attitude right here just for demonstration purposes. He's coming down. He doesn't have to fly from left to right over the curve. His perspective is he's flying straight and level over the surface he is directly above. And he comes down. Everything's fine. Pilot's only concerned with the Earth directly below them. Earth curve is ahead of them. They're not worried about what's ahead of them. They're worried about what's below them. Coming down, what's ahead of them will come to them. There. Level off, curve has no effect. Leveling off, curve still has no effect. Now he's maintaining straight and level flight with a slow descent. Maintain level flight over the surface they are directly flying over. That's the key here. Come on. Coming in, straight and level. Everything is coming to them from their perspective. And that's what it is, right? Their observation. They are the primary observer. Therefore, it's their perspective, not your perspective. They're coming in for a landing, boom. Now, everything came to them. There's no need to calculate curvature of the Earth when the Earth is coming to you. Maintaining speed and altitude ensures the aircraft negotiates the curve in a passive manner. There is no requirement for active calculation of the curve. None at all whatsoever. Pilots don't need to worry about Earth curvature because they are not flying fast enough to worry about it.
Imagine, if an aircraft is flying at elevation 35,000 feet, well, it has to descend to land on the ground. Well,
and I gotta tell you something. Notice that will give you will have pitch data telling you about this, because you'll have to change your thrust to decelerate. And when it's flying flat and level, it doesn't show this deceleration to have pitch change, or I can say thrust to go descent.
Now right there, he's proving he knows absolutely nothing about airplanes. He knows absolutely nothing about flying, period.
So, yeah, and it takes a triangle, which means no curve.
What triangle? A triangle means no curve? You know, that's a dynamic triangle, if you want to call it a triangle, from their starting point, from their altitude down to the Earth, and then to their destination. Yeah, you create a triangle. You can determine the distance to your destination. Sure, no problem. But when they descend, they're going in steps. They could get a call from air traffic controller and say, level off, speed up, slow down, turn left, turn right. It's not a linear path they're following. It's a very dynamic path. And especially when they get down to a certain altitude and they actually level off and not descend or gain altitude anymore, they're going to be flying for a longer way in just a straight line somewhere until air traffic control says, turn left, turn right, descend more, go faster, go slower, whatever they're going to do. Flatzoid, my goodness.
Looks like an elevation angle to me.
It is. It's exactly that.
well, it's still flying in the air. It's not going to point its nose straight down and go straight to the ground. No, it's got to gradually descend from altitude down to zero. Well, we call that rate of descent. A lot of people don't talk about this. Everybody can see and understand. Anybody can do this math. Pilots don't know anything that's not normal. They have more experience.
This is the most ridiculous animation I've ever seen.
That 39%.
Now, the rest of the video, they're going to go into something completely different. I'm not going to talk about that. I'll talk about that at a later time. I'm only worried about what happened with the Earth curve and the pilot flying overhead, but that's my response to the video.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. A curve is not needed when flying airplanes. Do not act like you know what you're talking about. Unless your name is Google, or you do your research, or have some personal experience with what you're talking about, then you know jack. You don't know anything. And I can tell you, your little minions at the round table don't know about it either. They were mostly quiet during the whole thing. Did you notice that? I think that's very smart. I don't want to call anybody names or anything, and I don't want to sound like a smartass. I know airplanes. And this is why I know airplanes. So, you don't know anything about airplanes? Don't talk about airplanes. You're just making everyone around you dumber. I can't believe this animation. I can't do any more of this. I had to respond to that part at least, guys. I'm going to go back to Flat Earth Banjo, is the one that posted that video of the guy asking the pilot a bunch of questions. I'm going to go pay him a visit next. Anyway, see you guys. Enjoy. I'm Jonni Glitch, and I'm on a quest for conspiracy nonsense, and I'm about to do some more. See you around.